channel.
Okay, hey guys, what's going on? I am Mr. J. I will be your host for today. This is my co-host.
Class.
And welcome to Others. Others is our secondary topic, or our segment, where we go into other things that we are interested in and other things that we want to talk about with you guys.
I got Plastic Man, bro. Plastic Man would be a great movie because it's about a criminal who turns into a hero.
Well, this character has been featured already, but now people want him to be redone, if you will. So that pretty much means a recasting on him. And there's already people that they have in mind who they believe would play the perfect version of him. And the character that I'm referring to is Johnny Blaze, or Ghost Rider. Now, it's safe to say that almost nobody liked Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider. I didn't think he did too
No
bad,
comment.
but yeah, no, the movie was not great.
I mean, but it wasn't the worst either, though. I just want to make that clear. It wasn't the worst, movie
the
scene.
The first one.
Yeah, the first. Oh, yeah, the first one for sure wasn't too bad.
The second one,
it's always a miss in the sequel sometimes, you know. Winter Soldier is the exception on that, though.
I will say this. For all of you who are disagreeing with me and saying that I'm crazy and this and that, they pretty much already rebooted or recasted Ghost Rider.
They did Blade.
They recasted him, but they put him on a TV show, and they changed the version, so it was no longer the Johnny Blaze version of Ghost Rider. It was the Robbie Reyes version of Ghost Rider, which was cool. You know, we got to see a Hispanic guy finally doing his thing in a comic book show. You know, our people were represented. It was cool. It was awesome. But I don't feel it got the attention that it deserved. One, because it was on TV. Two, because it was on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that show just was not getting no love from the Marvel fans. And
no, yeah, especially if people have to commit that long to get a really good character into the show, they're not gonna wait that long.
Like they were trying to introduce cool characters that they hadn't introduced before through this show, but it was difficult because nobody wanted to watch it. And going through these darker story arcs is difficult. Not only is it difficult when Disney owns it, but it's difficult when you're trying to do it on a show or a Netflix show because they just can't go as dark. They can't go as brutal, or there's things that they can't show. There's things they can't talk about. So with Ghost Rider, I want to say that was not maybe the smartest choice. You know, it was cool to see Ghost Rider again, but I don't feel like you can do him right in that platform. I feel like you need to be able to do it at least on a mature show, where you can go a little bit darker, or it's got to be like a movie. And since it's Ghost Rider, I want to say maybe he needs an R rating.
Yeah, he does. No, he does. And it can be done. Certain DC and Marvel movies have shown it, especially the Marvel. I think about it. This is where you got to get out of your comfort zone, because you got Logan, and that movie was what do you call it, underrated or something like that.
It was rated R.
Yeah, rated R. And then there was another movie that came out that was pretty good, Deadpool. Another movie that was also pretty rated R, and it worked out just fine. So what does that tell you?
I think it was the first one. It was the first Marvel movie that had an R rating.
Yeah, and you see, that's the thing. It's the game changer, guys. That game changer alone will give a DC a fighting chance, considering the fact that DC is dark. Okay, it's dark. At least you can make some characters PG-13, maybe, but not all of them. Rated R is the way to go, and I get it. It's like, oh, but they have to be 17. Yeah, you want the high schoolers, man. You want the ones that are a little bit older. You want that, and you want the ones that are going to take their brothers and sisters to the movies. You want to know why? Because that's extra seats on that theater, and on top of that, money, tickets. Okay, it makes perfect sense.
As far as like the PG-13 rating, because that's pretty much where they're trying to cap it. Is right there, PG-13, because they're trying to get the young kids as well as the young adults. I think it's perfectly fine to do their characters in that rating. Certain ones, like the Justice League. Like Justice League can be PG-13. It can be. You can do it right. But like I said, just them. Like maybe like Green Lantern, Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. You can do all them right with a PG-13 rating. You can. But then there's other characters you have that can't. Like I believe John Constantine, and some of your other darker characters. Deathstroke. Deathstroke, I do believe should be a R rating. I do not believe he should have a
Definitely.
PG-13 rating. Bane.
And
I know Bane's not a hero or anything like that, but if they did give him a solo movie, I think it should be rated R. Especially if you look at Bane's backstory,
yeah.
he was in prison. He didn't even do anything.
It was pretty bad.
And then he's just this little child just running around the prison, and I think somebody chucked him down some stairs and he broke his neck, and he lived.
He had a living in the environment he was living in, growing in where he was growing. I mean, the guy went through a lot. So what he's saying pretty much it's doable. It's possible to make these movies come to life pretty much. Just you have to have the right fan in the directing seat. You have to have the right committed person who has read a comic book and said, yo, not someone who said, oh, this is fun. No, they said they love.
As far as I don't know what you would call them, film team, film crew, the director, one of the writers, or one of the producers, somebody who is important enough to make decisions, whoever that may be, somebody needs to be a nerd and somebody needs to be a comic book fan or a fan of the movie that they're doing. And some of you would probably say, well, isn't that biased? Just like, no, listen, this is why I say no. This person, whoever it is, if they're a fan of what they're working on, they're going to try to do it as close to the comic as they can, as close as they can to the source material. Now, the problem is, even with Marvel, DC and Marvel have been having this huge problem lately where they do the movies off of these characters, but then they change certain thing in the origin, and it's just like, well, we had to change it because of the ratings, or we had to change it because we felt this story would work better. It's just like, no, man, stop doing that. Stop changing the source material. Like, this is why the fans go out and they see the movie, and this is why they get pissed off, because they go and they see it, and then they go and write a bunch of hate mail on the internet, and they're just like, this was bad. You guys, and 9 times out of 10, what do they say? They say, you didn't do it like you did in the comics.
Yeah. And I mean, if you watch the animated movies, like they do it right.
The animated movies,
the comics are exactly the same as the movie. Like the comics and the movies are having the similar trait, which makes it so good to watch. So when they don't decide, like, hey, why not just use the comic book material into the damn movie? It would make more practical sense than be like, because this. Okay, let's put this PG-13 and rated R thing to rest for a second. Let me just put this, okay?
All right.
PG-13. You didn't get Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. You remember that, right, guys? You guys remember the PG-13 version? You guys remember the crappy what Steppenwolf? You remember Darkseid wasn't even brought up at all, not even inside the whole universe. Everything about
didn't fit. It was bright. It was colorful.
It was fast. It was rushed. It was like there was no way to build up. There was no Avengers build up. Like it was not exactly like anything like it. Look, I didn't even like the first Avenger movie, but even I will give the first Avenger movie credit in that PG-13 crap we watched for Justice League. But Zack Snyder's on the other hand.
A lot of the scenes just were like, it was rushed. There was no context. There was no explanation of what really was going on. Zack Snyder's cut, however, it was able. They pretty much just added all the deleted scenes, but I mean, realistically, I know that's not what happened. I know that's not what happened. But like, all the scenes were just set up better. Everything was explained. It's just like, well, why do
Built
you
up
need
better, yeah.
why do you need an explanation? It's just like, I need to know why this person is doing that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, especially if you're gonna get people who are not into DC comic movies or DC comic books, you want to get the character as much as you can depth. Because if you don't, people are just gonna think, okay, that's cool. That's it. They're not gonna think, oh man, this character's got story. This character's got layers. I want to watch more of this character. They're just gonna be like, oh, he can fly. That's cool. Oh, he could run real fast. That's cool.
Right.
The hell does that mean to me?
Yeah.
Like you're supposed. Sometimes you got to get the characters to relate to the people because people want to be able to see the struggling character become a hero. That's how you build on that crap. That's how people are like, yeah, I want to be a hero now. Now, granted, no one's gonna jump off the ceilings and stuff like that and become Batman all of a sudden.
Please don't
But
do that.
please don't do that. We highly recommend you don't do that unless you're
Do
very
not do
skilled.
the things we say on this channel at home, okay? Disclaimer. Do not
Yeah,
do the stuff at home.
don't listen to us. We're ridiculous.
Seriously.
Okay, so who would you really want to see in the live action movie for sure? Completely, like you would be excited to see live action come up to life from the comics. There's a lot of X-Men characters too. Like I just think
Yeah,
about.
you know what? Thinking about that, oh, man. The two that I really want to see, we've seen them already. You know,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I want to see Gambit. I want to see
No,
Gambit.
we didn't see. No, I don't agree with that. We didn't see Gambit. Screw that guy. No, that was
Like
terrible.
I don't have a problem with that guy as an
No, he was
actor or as a
good. No,
person,
he was
whatever.
good.
You know, it's just that version of Gambit was not
Not nicely done. It was choppy. It was
that
not
that
exactly.
that movie was that movie had a lot of problems.
Yeah, even
Anyway,
with all these great characters. Anyways, but
um, I would love to see Gambit have a standalone movie, you know, where they really take their time and they really flesh out his character. And I would love to see Psylocke return. Olivia Munn, please return as Psylocke, please.
oh, that'd be cool. That would be very, very solid. I for sure would like to see Zatanna on the big screen. John Constantine was brought on the green screen, and I think he had potential to be a good movie with Keanu Reeves. It just wasn't exactly like the comics. It was kind of trying to be more like, I guess, in a way, more religious in a sense of like a universe full of gods and demons more than it was about John Constantine's realm. If you've seen the comics and you've seen them in the animated series and the movies, you know he's like Keanu. I like Keanu Reeves. He's a great guy, but as far as performance of depth when it comes to John Constantine, I didn't see it. I saw Keanu Reeves. I didn't see John Constantine. I saw
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. They did I think, a better version of him through live action series, which is cool. But I want to see an authentic movie like that with Plastic Man and Satana because Satana's got the dark magic thing too. She could go into a different realm, and her story about being just a magician by day and then this crazy fighter of dimensions and evil by night. It's like it sounds
So
like it sells itself.
so you want to see Justice League Dark, but in a live action form.
Oh yes, yeah. Give
just,
it to me.
just to cut that short.
Yeah, Justice League Dark would be great. That would be great. Yeah, and then you could even just nudge Batman in there, just if you guys want to keep some fan power or like superstar power in there. You can add Batman for a second. Don't make him the whole story though, and don't put him in the trailer completely, just so you can sell us that he's going to be there completely, because that's not going to work.
You know that's what they're gonna do.
That's always what they always do. That's always. But well, all right, so yeah, I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had already had two conversations. One was about the live action option, which would be who would we want to see, and then the second one is pretty much us our opinion on where DC Comics, as far as the movie realms, kind of fell, and how Marvel is kind of picking up the mantle, and it's not even a challenge at this point for them.
Yeah.
So hopefully that changes in the future. All right, as always, No Press fam. Yes, we always appreciate you guys, and we will catch you guys later, right?